it bathe over me. Let it wash over me. Oh, it feels so good. Sorry. It's Thursday, which means tomorrow's Friday, and then the weekend. And my friends say I learned nothing at Berkeley. I love a good calendar. So the CDC needs a makeover worse than Joy Behar. CDC stands for the Centers for Disease Control, but what did it control really during the pandemic? Nothing. Instead, it became another bloated arm of the bureaucratic machine, a political entity making political pronouncements and protecting its political allies. So no surprise, during the pandemic, they were more of a crap show than a leaky fleet enema. So they need to change, and we're not talking a half-assed transition. I'm talking a 100% Bruce to Caitlyn makeover. And a think tank agrees with me, saying the CDC needs a full reset because it no longer can be trusted to handle global pandemics. Hell, at this point, it can't be trusted to handle an outbreak of dandruff or athlete's foot. I wouldn't trust them to cure disco fever. And yet, they call everything a health threat, from racism to climate change. According to them, anything that they don't like could be a health risk. How convenient is that? I'm surprised they aren't demanding warning labels on Republicans. And yet, they miss the things that are killing us by the millions. No wonder the obesity epidemic has gotten out of control. Oh, that picture must have showed up by accident. Although, somebody get them more oats. The Center for Strategic and International Studies, or CIVIS, states the CDC has entered a moment of peril and has suffered a sharp decline in popular trust and confidence. But wait, are we talking about the CDC or just about everything these days? That one line could apply to every major institution. Well, except for the Gutfeld Institute for Awesome Quads and Abs. Yeah. You can still trust them. Good people and excellent whirlpool baths. Lots of privacy, if you know what I mean. But it's true, the CDC's handling of COVID really put it on the map. The same way JFK's assassination put Dealey Plaza on the map. Yeah, it is a stretch. The report also suggests it needs to change how it collects data and be more flexible with its budget. Wow, that's brilliant. That's like saying Jeffrey Dahmer's problem was his choice of condiments. The report adds, the CDC reset is a matter of national security. The leadership needs to prove its head is fully in the reform game, but true power to change lies at the White House, which means they want the CDC to move its headquarters from Atlanta to D.C. And why? So Joe Biden could screw it up from the comfort of his own Acorn stairlift? A move to Washington only makes sense if you think carjacking is a great way to meet strangers. So while I agree that the CDC is as bad as the diseases it's meant to control, I'm not sure heading to the land of grift and senility is the right answer. So what is? Well, you need to bring someone in who's familiar with cleaning house. Yes, I mean a woman.
A sexist would say.
Terrible. But what you really need is someone who knows and appreciates science, has no desire for politics, and has no problems dismissing layers of redundant, flabby bureaucracy. Essentially, we need to clone Elon Musk because he gets it. I mean, you run into this problem everywhere in government. It's an administrative bureaucracy where people fight for status rather than fight disease. And if you noticed, everything about health took a backseat to enhancing the expert's media footprint. Being on TV was more important than fighting TB. Dr. Fauci was on screen more than our ads for Relief Factor. And nowhere near as good for you. The only health he improved was the health of his ego. So it's not just the pandemic mistakes, because we all made them. It's about why there were so many, and so many by the experts. Why is that? Well, it's obvious. Politics infected it, as the CDC indulged the teachers' unions and identity merchants rather than giving real health advice that could have saved lives. Suddenly, they were making sweeping pronouncements about every liberal cause. Everything became a health crisis. Racism, the environment, gun control, and yet fentanyl slides right by them, just like COVID did, just like obesity, just like sugar. So yeah, I think it's time for the CDC to do some serious soul searching, if they have one, and maybe come up with a vaccine that fights politics.
Let's hear it.
Tonight's guest anymore, but I hope he still stops to frisk me. Former NYPD inspector and founder of OpsDesk.org, Paul Morrow. Wow, that was hard. If he's here, that means the sale at J. Crew must be over. Host of The Guy Benson Show, Guy Benson. Her background check has more flags than a Trump rally. Fox News contributor, Cat Tib. And the last time he played Twister, he killed someone. My massive sidekick and the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Tyrus. So I just want to put up Guy and Paul. Could you put them up side by side? Isn't this wonderful? This is the first time in my career that guests came in the exact same jacket.
Who wore it better?
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't answer that.
I think you guys look like really hip real estate agents, you know, from downtown trying to sell a loft, and then you meet and you fall in love.
Who told him? You told him?
Hell of a note.
All right, let's do this story. Guy, what do you make of this? Is this ever possible? Can you reset anything in government?
First of all, can I just say that we did like the Spider-Man meme in the green room?
Yeah,
we
yeah.
realized we were wearing this. Brooks Brothers, by the way. Sponsor us, you cowards.
Yes.
So a couple months ago at this point, Governor DeSantis down in Florida rolled out this plan that he was going to create like an alternate CDC to look into the CDC recommendations. And people went crazy over this. Like he was besmirching the fine reputation of this universally respected institution. And it's like, do you hear yourselves? People don't trust the CDC anymore. I think it would be healthy to have someone come in and either shake it up in a major way or do what DeSantis has done, create an alternative to give different ideas. And it should be, rigorous and medically based and follow the data, unlike what the CDC did, unfortunately, too often on COVID.
I think they should be focused mainly on balance of nature. Paul, welcome to the show. First time, very excited. We've talked about the CDC. I think what gets me pissed off more than anything is that the real health stuff they miss, but then they chase these political, the attention-seeking media issues like gun control and racism, climate change.
Well, think about how many people we have dedicated to this, right? So you have the CDC. We have Fauci's not CDC. He's Infectious and Disease Control. The other one was NIAID, whatever it's called. You have the Surgeon General. You have Rachel Levine. You have all of these federal health people, none of whom seem to be synchronized.
Yeah.
And it just continues to grow, right? And yet you had one job and you blew it. So now you got this other, and by the way, anytime you see more than 2 federal acronyms in a story, reach for your wallet.
Yeah.
All right? Because you know where this is going, right? And so what do? They come out and they say, we don't have enough. We got to make this thing bigger. We need more computers. We need more people. And then, oh, by the way, let's move it to D.C. because that's a great idea. Nothing ever goes wrong inside the Beltway. So they never come in and say, make it more agile, pare it down, less.
Yeah.
It's always bigger, and
Right.
that's the problem here.
That's it can only grow. By the way, I didn't know you were from England.
I don't get that. But
I don't get it.
I didn't know that
That is
either,
the
actually.
thickest Brooklyn accent I've ever heard. Queens.
Brooklyn and Queens.
Brooklyn, Queens, you people. Gee whiz.
The word today, boys and girls, is sarcasm. Sarcasm.
Kat, you would love to reset all of government and make it smaller. Is this just a pipe dream, a crack pipe dream?
No. Okay. No, I agree. I don't think the CDC needs to do better. I think it needs to do less. I don't think the problem was the people in the CDC so much as people are the CDC. So they're prone to the same, corruption possibilities and the fact that they're going to make mistakes just like all humans are. So a lot of this stuff could be done by local officials who know their communities best and private researchers who aren't, a part of the government. So I don't think it matters who's in charge. I think it just needs to be smaller.
Just needs.
No, you guys are a bunch of commies? Okay.
Well, that was uncalled for, Kat. My goodness.
Wow.
I've been up since 5:30 in the morning.
I didn't tell you to do Fox
You're
and
welcome,
Friends.
Fox and Friends. Oh, they were nice to me there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, okay, I'm Joan of Arc because I got up at 6
People smile
a.m.
at Fox and Friends.
Oh, I had to
People
sit- I had to
smile.
have
They
a
say,
cold
"Oh,"
muffin.
they say good morning. They said good morning. They say good to see you, Kat.
Do you know why?
Do you know when
Because
the
they're
last time I
desperate.
heard that from you? Never.
Mom and Dad, stop. This is very upsetting.
That's why I drink.
Tyrus, will a reset make a difference?
That's hilarious. Reset, like a makeover.
Yes.
We're going to change the C's to K's. We're going to be the KDK. Whoops, my bad. We ruined Americans' lives, crushed families forever, lied through our teeth, extorted, shamed, cost people their jobs, and we're going to get a makeover. We're going to turn it around. You cannot turn around. It's time to go. Anybody who was working for the CDC or was with Fauci or with everyone in those programs should be fired. At the very least, if not even being looked at into criminal charges, because they had information that could have helped and they kept it because why? You said it in monologue. That TV was nice. He was throwing pitches out at baseball games, although the worst pitch I've ever seen in my life. And he was on talk shows and he was being compared to Brad Pitt.
That's right.
So why would he give all that up for the sake of, he betrayed science for himself. So makeover, no, burnt, euphorically, burnt to the ground and completely started.
All right. You mean that, yeah, not literally, because I have to go to HR tomorrow. All right, we got to move on.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.